Hello, this is our maintenance and installation video for our project Analyzing Biological Networks. So this is basically the developer guide for how to get this project started. The Scifinder plugin is made up of two different modules, the Scifinder module and the Subgraph Finder module. Both modules should be treated as two separate projects. The Scifinder module is responsible for the GUI of the plugin on Cytoscape, while the Subgraph Finder module is responsible for the logic of the plugin. The way this plugin works is by having the Subgraph Finder module as a jar file inside the Scifinder jar, which is generated from the Scifinder project using Maven. Basically, it's a jar inside of a jar. It's a bit confusing, but hopefully the following images and step-by-step explanation will help. So the first thing to do if you want to get this project started is to download the Scifinder and Subgraph Finder modules projects from the Google Drive folder that the product owner will share with you, and import them as two individual projects into your favorite IDE. For this tutorial, we'll be using the Eclipse IDE, but it should work with any IDE. The first step is we'll first start with the Subgraph Finder project. So first we will have to import that project into Eclipse. Following these steps, we click New and then Java Project from the drop-down window. You wouldn't use your default location. You will have to use the location will be the folder that you download from the Google Drive, which contains the Subgraph Finder. Now that it's imported into your IDE, you will now be able to generate a Subgraph Finder.jar file, which would be used as a dependency for the Scifinder project, which will be shown very soon. So here we have to first generate the jar file using an ant build, which is the build.xml file, which is included in the Subgraph Finder project. And you click Run As and then ant build. This is how a successful ant build will look like if there's no errors. This is the window that will appear. And then also, if it was successful, a jar file called the subgraphfinder.jar should be found in your dist folder in your Subgraph Finder project. Now that we imported the Subgraph Finder module and we're able to generate a jar, we'll now import the Scifinder project. This project, unlike the Subgraph Finder project, is a Maven project and needs to be imported in a specific way. So first we will click import on the toolbar. We'll select file and then click import from the toolbar. We will select Maven and then choose the option existing Maven projects. We'll browse for the project that we downloaded, the folder that was on the Google Drive that will be provided to you, and then we click finish. After you do so, you might have an issue in the pom.xml file that has to do with a dependency. And the issue with this is that this dependency is not found on the Maven repository, and it needs to be installed manually for Scifinder to work. But the good news is that this dependency is actually the jar file that we created earlier from using the Subgraph Finder project. And you will have to set your path to that jar file for the dependency to work, which I'll show you very soon. You will have to put that Subgraph Finder.jar that we created earlier to this directory, and once you do that, you should the errors should go away, and you should have no other errors in the Maven project. Now what we need to do is we have to generate a jar file from the Scifinder project using Maven that we will then import into Cytoscape. So we right-click on the Scifinder project, and we click Run As Maven Install. And after we do that, this is the window that will appear if there was no errors. And you will have two jar files generated in your target folder. The only one that's really important is the Scifinder-1.0 jar. The sources file you will not need the sources file, the sources jar. Now that we were able to generate the jar file from this Scifinder project, we will now be able to import it into Cytoscape to do that, we open Cytoscape, we click Apps, then App Manager. You'll click Install from File, and now you'll have to locate you'll have to navigate to the location of your Scifinder jar, which should be still inside your target folder. If no errors have occurred, you will see the following window in Cytoscape once you import your jar file, and the status will say installed, which means it was successfully imported. And to confirm that, if you click Apps in Cytoscape, you'll see the Scifinder plugin shown for you. And these are some important notes that if you run into issues with any of the steps that I just previously went through, it would be important to go through these, and these should solve almost all the issues that can occur. Thank you.